Alright, welcome back to Dinopedia, entry number 30, the Megalosaurus. Remember to like if you like and subscribe down below for more videos. Alright, so our schedule as usual is to look at the Megalosaurus from Ark Survival, its tips and tricks for the Megalosaurus, potential add-ons for Ark Survival Ascended, and reworking for my new game Dino World. Let's get into it. So of course the Megalosaurus in Ark Survival, one of the most neglected and underrated dinosaurs in the game. Not a lot of people actually tame these things, and there is some good reason for that, but it is mostly seen as the tertiary predator of the island. It's right between a Giga and a Rex in far as damage wise, and it is definitely better than a Rex in some regards, as it is able to take down a Rex somewhat very easily, especially if they're low level. So of course it is a animal, so it's in the kingdom Animalia, group reptilian, because it's of course dinosaurs are ancient lizards, and is a theropod. As we discussed earlier, most theropods have 3 toes and 3 fingers, so it is a 3-toed walking carnivore. So of course its traits: it's fierce at night, attacking everything it sees, and during the day it sleeps and curls into a ball. A Megalosaurus will attack anything, even a Giga. Even if it will lose against a Giga, which it most likely will, it will still attack one. And high-level Megalosauruses are even capable of taking on low-level Carcros at night if they sneak up on them. So Megalosauruses are not to be messed with at night. However, during the day they will sleep. It will sleep and curl into a ball, which looks rather cute. So of course the Megalosaurus in Ark has better stats than the T-Rex. It has a health of 1025, stamina 300, oxygen 150, food and water 2000 each, weight 300, melee 75 with a secondary grab attack of 1%. We'll be talking about why that's more powerful later. Speed of 6 meters per second, meaning it walks rather quickly. Swimming speed 3 meters per second, a torpor of 775. So of course, the tips and tricks for this dinosaur is to remember that they are the Megalosaurus for a reason. They get that name for a reason. They have one of the most powerful jaws in the Dino World, and they know how to use it. So its secondary bite attack, Lockjaw, clamps down on prey, stun locking them in place and mobilizing them so they can't run away. This includes a bleeding effect as well, and the bleeding effect gets a lot more difficult to avoid as it levels up. So high-level Megalosaurus will have an enormous bleeding effect and an enormous base damage, meaning that, once again, they can probably go after a low-level Carcro in the wild if they're high-level enough. Also, it's a tame transport. Its jaw can be used, similar to an RG's talons, to transport one medium-sized creature or 2 small ones. So very useful if you want to transport a tame. But of course, it is a sleepy dino. During the day when sleeping, it will attack when provoked, but players can walk by it without waking it up. It won't follow players for long, being slow and sleepy, so of course just run away and you'll be fine. But of course, it still does a decent amount of damage during the day, just not much when it's as it is at night. So of course, tricks: multiplication. As the Megalosaurus levels up, its secondary grab attack becomes more powerful, going for base damage of 1 to 13, and increasing its bleeding effect exponentially instead of linearly as it keeps biting. So if it keeps clamping down on the same predator, it will keep increasing its bleeding effect, making it more dangerous. So 13 to 26 to 39, so on. It also has a riderless weakling. When a tamed Megalosaurus has no rider, its multiplication buff for the grab bite attack is lost. So of course, a Megalosaurus, you'll have to ride it when you're in battle, but of course, you can also just make it go against. It still has a powerful bite attack as it does have one of the best increases per level for its bite attack, but of course, it does need a rider for its secondary bite attack to be somewhat useful. Also 3, Endless Night. On Aberration, a Megalosaurus will never sleep as a darkness level on the map, except at the surface level, but they don't spawn in the surface level, so it doesn't matter. As the darkness level on the map of Aberration is enough for it to always assume that it is night, so of course Megalosauruses will not sleep on the Aberration map, so best be wary of that. So potential add-ons, additional qualities for Ark Survival Ascended. Nocturnal: at night all stats get increased, and a certain stat which can be chosen by a player on a tamed Megalosaurus will be majorly buffed. So at night all stats will be increased. This doesn't happen in this game, but I do think it should happen in the future, and I do think the player should be able to choose a special stat on a tamed Megalosaurus to be majorly buffed at night. So not only increased, but majorly buffed. at night. No. Oh, is that it? Alright, I guess that's it. I thought I added another thing. Well, I also wanted to say night vision, because I do think if a player's riding these at night, then they should have night vision, but I don't know why I didn't put that. Maybe I put it on the other one, but I do think night vision should be added so that players have night vision while riding a Megalosaurus, because it is a nocturnal predator. So looking at the Ark Survival Evolved Megalosaurus versus the Jurassic World one, the Jurassic World one literally just looks like a Rex but reskinned, so of course I do think the Ark one is better because it looks more unique. But the Jurassic World one is not terrible either, it just looks kind of like a Rex that just got a reskin, which is kind of cheap in my opinion. Looking at the Dino World version, ours is a little bit more unique. It doesn't look nearly like a Rex, but it is still kind of weird. It is kind of a little derpy in my opinion. So the Ark one does win out the battle of Jurassic World versus Dino World. So the Megalo, obviously, we shortened its name from the Megalosaurus, the Megalo, just to make it more unique. There's two types. The normal Megalo is the wild and tame dino variant, and the mutated Megalo is, of course, the product of two tamed Megalo mating, breeding, and laying eggs, plus a gene computer to get mutations. So, of course, it is in the kingdom Animalia as always, the group Reptilian as always. It is in the class of Theropod and the family of large theropods, including the Rex family, the Abertosaurus, and the Megalosaurus itself. So of course its health stats are very much increased from Ark because it is much bigger in our game. It has a health of 1200 instead of 1025, stamina 400 instead of 300, weight 500 instead of 300. Its bite attack has a base damage of 15 now, so it's way more powerful, and it still has a base attack of 75. Speed has not changed, but torpor is 1000 instead of 775, and has a fortitude of 3. So of course additional traits, nocturnal buff, damage, stamina, and torpor is doubled, and speed is boosted by 50% at night. So of course it does 150 damage at night, stamina is increased, torpor is doubled to 2000, and speed is boosted by 50%, so very, very much more effective at night. It also has night vision, grants night vision to itself and the player that's riding it, so that's that night vision stat I talked about. And number 3, it has a nocturnal trait. The player can choose a stat to be tripled at night on a tamed Megalo. So if you choose damage, then instead of it being 150, it'll be 225 base damage at for a level 1 Megalosaurus. So very effective considering that the Megalo's attack is one of the biggest increases per level. So best to pick a stat that you like, even though the attack does seem to be the stat that most people would choose. It also has the ability to Lockjaw, a devastating stun lock jaw bite that is basically the secondary bite attack, but it's super powered. It deals triple damage for the secondary bite attack with a 50% bleeding effect. What this means is that the animal that it's attacking will lose 50% of its health through that bleeding effect, so very devastating. But of course it has a 30-second cooldown as per usual. Also finally, we look at the Dino World spawn rates for the main map of Europa. Obviously blue is guaranteed, green is very likely, yellow is pseudo likely, orange for rare, red for very rare, and purple for dead carcasses. Obviously the Megalosaurus will be found in jungles. During the day it'll be sleeping on the ground. Most dinosaurs will stay clear of it. Most dinosaurs don't even recognize it. So it will just be walked around by most dinosaurs. However, if a player does walk upon it, you can walk by it just fine during the day, as long as you don't just step on it. If you step on it, it will awake and attack you. However, it will only be found in the jungle and very rarely in the jungle. Alright, so that's going to be the end of the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like if you like, dislike if you don't, subscribe if you like it, comment down below your thoughts. Everyone have a blessed day as always. Remember, it's Cyber Monday. Get your deals early on Amazon or anything you use. Amazon, eBay, Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, I don't know. And of course, as always, toodaloo.